Hello, everyone. If anyone's watching, started a little bit earlier. Thought I'd get a sort of getting in there with some speed. Fuck me. Okay. Hello, everyone. If anyone's watching, can you please just write a comment? This is the first time I'm doing live via StreamYard, at least. It's been a couple of years since I did a live on YouTube, but this through StreamYard. So could you just write a comment or anything? So yeah. Hi. Nice. Thank you so much. I thought that I'd start by showing some records before actually going into what I want to talk about for, I don't know how long, but until we're tired of it, I guess. Because I thought the other day that what is the thing that, what is the thing that we can't show, really? What is the thing that I can't show in my videos? And that is my want list. I can talk about my want list and show you, I can edit in pictures of the sleeves and stuff like that. I've done that in the past. But with this kind of tool, I guess, like StreamYard, I thought of doing it live and share my screen, showing you my Discogs want list and talk about it a little bit. But before I sort of start by sharing my screen, I thought that I'd let some people come if they see that this is I'll send a banner out so people know that what's going on here. So I'll show some random records before we really get started, okay? And ask me questions along the way. I don't know if that's what you do on these live thingies, but ask me questions if you have any. I can show them like this. So hey by Reine, or what's up Jonas by FM Gonzo. Awesome. So just ask me questions. I'll put them aside if there's anything, and we'll talk about them in the as we go on. Hey Stunty, shit. Nice. Hello. Yeah. Sorry I didn't call you. Awesome that you're going to Dambosch or Dambosch. Awesome. Hey, Christopher. So I'll just start by showing some records before I really get into my want list. This is the Climax Blues band plays on that I just played the other day. I had very little expectations of this record, to be honest, actually, because I'm not a huge blues guy, but I knew that it was a sought after record. Now, when Stunty is in the house, I can't say rare or grail. But a sought after record, a want lister for sure. It's the yellow Parlophone. So this is like €100 record or something like that. But I don't think that, I mean, every other song on this is killer, like really almost psychedelic heavy blues. But some of them are like boogie woogie. Next one is New Zealand Trading Company. I also played this the other day. Got it for €1 at a thrift store, or I don't know what it's called. Thrift store? Yeah, Salvation Army type of thing. Looked nice. It's soulful. Cool. I don't know. I'll play it more. The same thrift store had this in mint condition. Awesome. Cowboy Junkies. I mean, everyone has this, but the recording quality of this is just insane. So we are 7 right now. Awesome. I realized that I can sort of star some of the comments, and then I can put them up later. So if you have any questions, I'll try to star mark them, and we can take them after that. I bought this online, got it for an insanely good price. This is the German first press of this record. Do anyone know about this record? If you know, please write in the comments. This is, let's see here. Eddie Boyd and the record is called 7,936 South Roads. I think that is a address. But this was recorded in 1968 to 69. So the entire early Fleetwood Mac is playing on this one, especially Peter Green on guitar. And I think that this is most famous for their recording quality. Their recording quality is insane for being what it is. And it was recorded sort of live. I read in the studio with just a few microphones, and feels a little bit like jazz at the pawn shop. It's just when the stars align and the moon is in the zenith, and everything just works out fine. You can have one microphone fucking in the room, and it's the best recording that no one has ever seen. It feels like this on this one also. Fantastic blues rock record. I segue into this later on. It's a Beautiful Day. Yes, that band that did White Bird, which is a San Francisco psychedelic masterpiece, in my opinion. This is more like blues rock or pop rock, maybe rock. Good, not as good. And got this the other day also. Don't need to talk about this. Original press. It's insane. So good. And a first press of this also, Ashra Temple. Really, really good. So that is some records for you. Let's start the sort of the Discogs Want List thingy. So I'll share my like that. Yeah. So I have a want list. We all log our stuff on Discogs, and we have a want list. And I don't know if everyone uses the want list the same way. So I thought of, like, when we go through my want list and the records, I think that you can see a pattern of how I use the want list to actually, I don't use it like something that I'm going to buy necessarily only. A great example, in my opinion, is this one. This is Spur of the Moment. This is a private pressed country acid folk record. How did I ever sort of stumble upon this record? Well, it's books like this. This is the Criminal over here. This is the Acid Archives. And if you don't know this book, you can look it up afterwards. This is not a video about books. But as you can see, it's filled with very obscure, trippy records. So when you read this, every other record is interesting and sounds interesting. So you look it up on Discogs, and it's pressed in 2 copies, you know the deal, or it's reissued, or it's pretty easily available. And that's what I did with Spur. So I got this the other day. Let's go back to this view. No, this view. Sorry. Yeah. So this is Spur of the Moment. You have 1969 psychedelic rock. Yeah, awesome. I added 3 years ago to my want list, and it's not a super duper expensive records. But let's go to the other versions of this release. Now, I actually bought this one. This is the reissue from the 90s. It's some say that it's a bootleg. Maybe it is. It's sold on. It's logged on PopPsych, so it's sold on eBay a couple of times. And it goes for not much money at all. So I just finished listening to it. Sounds great, but this is the kind of things that I love to find. Spur of the Moment. Don't Never Trust a Woman, which today is 420 day. It's very suitable for this day. Let's go to the want list. So, do you have any questions? Hello, all pops. Hello, all. Yeah, Scandinavian stream. I know. Shit. Keep on Want is just under 3,000 records. Yeah, I can't really remember. I can't really remember how many I have. Let's see here. Maybe you guys see this now. Yeah, 2,495 is the one that I have. Just write questions or whatever. Let me know if you have any questions and stuff like that. But let's start. Let's start with this one. Rave Up with Yardbirds. This is on my want list. Why is this on my want list? It was added 2 days ago. So how I use my want list in this case is when I get a record like this. I don't know if you see this because I can't see myself. When I get a record home, and in this case, it was a big collection that I bought. The first thing I do is I go for the information, look up the pressing. And when I have the pressing, I don't log it as in collection yet. I log it as a want list item. So I know that, I mean, among all these versions of Rave Up with Yardbirds, I've found the one that is my press. So when I have cleaned the record, and when I have played the record, when I have put it in a new sleeve, then I log the record and I take away the want list sort of stamp on it, or whatever you want to call it. So that's one way that I use my want list. In this case, I can remove it. Okay. Do any one of you use this like that to sort of log it before? Because I don't like adding stuff to my Discogs before I play it. I don't know why, but I have like right now, and that's mostly due to the big collection that I bought and my friend who passed, and I bought almost his entire record collection. I have a shit ton of records to play. So I've cleaned them, I've sleeved them, and they are just waiting to be played. But I haven't logged any of them in my collection, but some of them are here in the want list, just waiting. Let me know if anyone's using it like that. Okay. There can also be like reissues in this case. Badge, fantastic psych compilation of a very obscure little band. They only release singles, and this has a connection to a sort of Jesus record. Another one. This is also, I just got this the other day. And I logged it. The funny thing is that I can this one, I got this maybe a month ago. Yeah, added 26 days ago. So maybe 2 months ago, something like that. I played it, I logged it. And after I did that, I was like, shit, I really want the first press of this. This is 1979 reissue. It sounds good, but I would like the first press. So what I do is I go to the first press and I log it in my want list. So then it's almost like I'm not through with this record. I have it in my collection now, a version of it, but I'm not through with it. Hey, Psych Derek, awesome. Hi, man. Yeah, exactly. Kath. I think I didn't talk about Kath because I think that record will come in on another page later. But yeah, Badge from Kath. Pretty hard to get psych folk record. Okay, moving on. So that's one way I use it. This one, this is a jazz record. So let's talk about a jazz record. This is Johnny Cole's Warm Sound. As you can see, I have 1, 2, 3, 4 records logged on my want list, and I would probably not buy any one of them because this is a record that I had previously and I sold. So this is a pretty rare record on the Epic label. And I found it in a huge collection, or not a huge collection, but 4 crates of records that I bought, and I sold it for $700 to Japanese guy. And for that money, I bought my Comus First Utterance, among other records. Didn't pay $700 for that. I don't think so anyway. So what I do now is I have it in my want list because I want to know if anyone puts it up for sale. That's also how I use it. Every day, like I think nowadays it's 2 times a day, you get an email of, like, I think they only throw 100 at you. So that's the maximum of stuff for sale in your want list. And I actually love getting those emails. I often take time to sit down and actually go through them. But that system is so flawed in so many ways. So I guess that many may think it's pretty irritating because people are uploading every day their inventory. So same sellers shows the same records every day. So sometimes it could be pretty tiresome. And I don't think I've ever bought a record from that mail that is generated. I don't think so. So in this case, the Warm Sound by Johnny Cole's Quartet, fantastic record, fantastic recording quality. I only have it to sort of get a notice or check in on it from time to time, and with the different pressings. Yeah. I think we go to page number 2. As you can see, I haven't really prepared anything. And I have to go back to, did anyone have any questions here? Only get various pressing my want list. If you have records in your want list that you already own, doesn't that make you buy it again? No. I don't go with my sort of my phone and my want list to a record store. Never. It's not like it's all is up here. Like I've never bought a record that I already had in my collection. I don't think so anyway. Not even a sort of a version of it that I didn't know. I know my record collection in and out. So no, I haven't done that. In this case, with my Chapman record, that is 1979 reissue with a completely different label, and that's a Harvest label. So the original press has a Harvest label, and if I find that, I know, and it's gatefold. This 1979 version wasn't gatefold, so. And right, if you have any of these, it would be cool to some of them are pretty rare, and some of them are just like ordinary records, and I'll talk about that also. Like this one, Black Sabbath Master of Reality. Everyone has Master of Reality, but I only have a sort of a NEMS, I think, copy of it that I bought 20 plus years ago. When out bike riding on the countryside. It was just insane. I bought I could only afford 5 or 6, but I could if I took the entire crate, I would be a rich man today. But yeah, so I only have a NEMS copy of that. It would be nice to have a vertical swirl version of that, but I never stumbled upon one, so I don't have it. Wally, Cheap Heat, highly recommended. This is bullshit. I actually got it 21 days ago, so I have it now, but I haven't played it yet. But this is one that I've been having my eye on. It's not expensive, €6, like 6, 7, 8, 10 euro maybe. It's a great record. Again, there's Michael Chapman. Groundhogs. This is also a pretty common record that I've had my eye on, and one day I will probably find it. And as you can see here, October. The Incredible String Band, also one that I had on my want list from that big collection. So I have it, haven't played it yet, so I haven't logged it yet. Let's move on. As you can see, 100 pages. We won't go through it all. I don't think so anyway. Hey, Jazz Bums Mike, Ergolu. Yeah, Christopher, you have to you'll be the admin in the flow. You can send me a message if I'm going haywire here. Okay. Let's see here. Dog Feet, fantastic record. That would be so awesome to own. Let's play a little.
On the road you see so many places. In the pipelines, every second they're gone.
Does anyone own this? Does anyone have a copy of this?
Dusty and empty and lonely hotel rooms.
Add it to your want list. It's really, really good. Yeah. In the early days of the VC, I remember this Sobel record. I think that someone found entire crate of sort of dead stock records of this one. So it went to a lot of VC members. I wasn't one of them because the shipping was too much. But see, it's not super expensive. It's a great sort of fusion record. Regret I didn't buy it. What else do we have here? Rufus, really good. Carla Bley Band and Birth Control, 2 records that I got actually, so I haven't listened to them yet. That's why they're there. Let's go to the next page. Do we have any questions? I collect my records in drickabackar. Yeah, classic drink or crates. Yeah, ready to be clean, and after I add them as I want to file the condition and all other important info on Discogs. This is exactly like how I do it. And I also like having like a crate of records that I have cleaned. I haven't played them yet. They are just waiting to be played, but I haven't logged them. So it's sort of in between ownership. So I don't think that it doesn't feel like it's my record until I've played it and actually sort of logged it and put it in the shelf. So yeah, Cartago and Capability Brown. Is that how you pronounce it? Capability Brown. Also records that I just got. Ashtung Baby, one that I had many years ago. I think I've got it for like 50 cents or something like that from thrift store, something like that, in fantastic condition. It went up in price, sold it. It's not my thing. Like U2, I can listen to 1 or 2 songs, then I'm pretty fed up with U2 often. But there were a seller. I bought a bunch of records, had a great price on it, so I thought it would be cool to listen to it now with a little better system, and also the Daniel Lenoir sort of production. I love his sort of way of recording and producing records. Really, really cool. So I guess that's the biggest quality of this, maybe. Yeah. Free jazz record, Peter Kowald Quintet, really, really good. Check it out if you're a free jazz fan on FMP. As you can see, I also have some reissues, John Sermon and Harry Beckett. This is the latest British jazz explosion. I don't know. Let's see here. Yeah, it's series from Decca. They released a couple. They're really good. Really good sound quality, and pressed good and expensive, like everything. Feels a little bit like it's a little bit of a bummer buying new records nowadays, I think. And I feel so anyway. Like It's so expensive, it's not fun anymore. But so the fun for me is in buying used records, and it's always been, I think. These guys are a newly found love of mine. Rediker, let's see here. I think we can go for this one. I've got the Guild. I'm going to show it in a recent vinyl finds to come. Let's see here. This is a US siblings pair that recorded private pressed folk rock records or folk records, a little bit acid, maybe, if you're really looking for that sort of edge to it, maybe a little bit acid folk, but fantastic. This record, I mean, never been reissued. It was released 1980. Sounds more like a 1970, 73 record. Private pressed, as I said, pretty quirky, cool cover. Love those. I love those labels. They are just so strict and unpersonal in a very private pressed personal way. Looks like almost a religious record, and it's killer. The harmonies are by these two are fantastic. It reminds me of maybe Crosby, Stills and Nash, sort of, if you have to put a label on it. But again, it's hard to. I gave it a 5. I actually use this grading system for the music, not the pressing or that quality. I use this to so when I look at my collection, I can sort it in grading, so I know what my 5-star records are, my 4-star records, and so on. And I don't think I have any 2-star records. If I grade out a record 2 stars, it's just away it goes. Fantastic. And they have released a bunch of records, these two. Private pressed from 80 to maybe 88, 89. So this, and this, I think. And this is all by those two siblings. And I actually found that a girl on Facebook, and I had a chat with her. They don't have any records left, but as you can see, they are not expensive. The funny thing is, when you live in Sweden, the shipping is just from the States, so it's impossible. But I mean, if you live in the United States, jump on these records right now. They are cheap as hell, and I'm looking for a seller that has at least 3 or 4, so I can buy them pretty cheap, 3 or 4, and bundle it up and do a shipping like that. But I only found one seller that had 2, so I didn't buy it. Do anyone know about the Guild? Yeah, 2,500 records in my want list. It could be even more. I mean, we've only gone to the 3rd page, but you will see that it's all over the map. Like, it's not all of the records on my want list. It's not stuff that I will buy. They are there for various reasons. So this entire row here is new finds. So this entire row, the row above, is stuff that I have bought and is ready to clean, listen to, and then I log it and take it away from the want list. Yeah, moving on. So this also typical. We have, or there is a guy called Teddy in. Let's see here. What's the YouTube name? You guys know Teddy. Write it in the comments. You all know him. He did so awesome videos back in the day. Very informative, perfect voice. I mean, it was so easy to listen. I would pay good money for a video a week or a month from that guy, because I learned so much. And his recommendations were always spot on for me. And this, the Bill Dixon Orchestra was one of them that he recommended. And I tried to find a original press in stores, I think, back then. I had a thing with, anyway, and they released a reissue, 2017, intents and purposes on Superior Viaduct. Sounds pretty okay, I think, but I still have the original Canadian of all pressings in my want list to remind me that I need to get an original press. And when I do, I get rid of the reissue. I'm not a collector that has a bunch of different pressings of stuff. Skål. I think the only record I have the same pressing. Two records. It's an original US stereo press of I Love Supreme and the master edition with 3 LPs that they released not too long ago. And Elina's Trädgård, the Swedish prog record. I have an original of that, but when they released the reissue, they released it as a double LP with outtakes and stuff like that. So it's not really the same record, but those are the only two I think that I have. Two of. Let's see here. Oh yes, that's what I do, but getting more complicated by the day with US shipping prices to Europe and customs. Yeah, yes, and yeah, customs is also a thing to. I mean, it's not the price that you pay on Discogs. It's the price you pay when it gets to Sweden, and the government needs his share. And it is what it is. I mean, I bought from Switzerland. They aren't in the United in EU, so I got toll and taxes on that record. Sucked big time, so I'm not buying from Switzerland anymore. This is also a record I have in my want list. This is Highway Robbery. Everyone knows about this. If you're a heavy blues fan or a heavy psych, you know about this record. It's a great one, but I had it in mint condition, got it for a great price, sold it because the sound quality is just awful. As you can see, this is back in the day when Dynaflex was a thing. So 1972, I don't know if it was in the period where oil was very expensive or something like that. So they started to do like 90-gram vinyl. So the pressing I got, at least, I think if it was, I don't know if it was German or if it was the US. Let's see here if the German also is a Dynaflex. No, maybe the German is a better press. Okay, add to the want list. Bam. Okay, so now we're there. Anyway, fantastic music. The pressing sucked. Like it, I couldn't listen to it, so I sold it. But it's a cool record, definitely, really good. Manfred Schuff, also really good. Morgan is also a psych classic that a lot of the big names have. I'm not one of them, but shit, it is good. If Psych Derek is still there, do you have this? Do you have a copy of this? US Dynaflex, yeah. Christopher has a. What do you think of the sound quality, Christopher, on that one? Was I just out of luck? Did I get a copy that was just like, yeah? Oh yeah, this is really good. New sounds and old. The dance band records in my want list. We will get to those. Absolutely. Maybe not dance band records that we have here in Sweden, but a lot of those religious sort of boundary psych records are fantastic. Sometimes they really sound like a dance band record. Okay. So Vild Cactus, great Swedish prog record that I haven't bought yet. Jade Warrior, lack that in my collection. I actually don't have Grateful Dead's Anthem of the Sun, so I have that sort of back in my mind. If I found it in a store or something like that, I would grab it right away. But yeah, Joanne Kelly, I bought her debut record from a collecting friend here in Sweden. Fantastic record, man, what a voice. And she did a record with John Fahey, the guitarist, and I haven't heard this. I haven't even heard it online, so I can't really say anything about it. But with John Fahey and Joanne Kelly, can't really go wrong. So if I find that for this price, like I will jump on it like right away. Yeah, Highway 61 Revisited. Why do I have that one in this case? It's the alternate take from Buick 6. So I have not an original press, I don't think so, but an early UK press of this. But this is the one that has, I think, a little bit more of that song that they later cut out. So something to look for, I guess. Everything's online, so you can find it there. Yeah, Bill Stone also, folk, acid folk. Again, Taj Mahal, something I have in my collection. I haven't played it yet, so when I do, I will log it and remove it from the want list. Mother Earth, same thing goes with that. With the collection I bought, I got a lot of Fleetwood Mac records, early Fleetwood Mac records, and I have a bunch of them. So when sort of looking at the records and going through the Fleetwood Mac catalog, I noticed that, I mean, I have this one, I have Peter Green's Fleetwood Mac, I have them play on. Kiln House, Future Games, and so on, but I didn't have Mr. Wonderful. So I added that to the want list. So that is definitely a record that I would love to have now. I'm not a completist, absolutely not, but with this collection and the stuff that I've started playing with early Fleetwood Mac and revisiting from my own collection, it's good. Peter Green is or was a badass. I have a book. It's unfortunately in Swedish. I know that there's books written on Peter Green and Fleetwood Mac or early Fleetwood Mac, so there's no shortage of that. But this book is written by one of the prog figures here in Sweden called Peter Brynjelsson. And as I said, unfortunately Swedish, but it's very personal. So it's almost like the book is about his relation really to Peter Green as his absolute biggest hero. Great book, recommended if you live in Sweden. Yeah, Mary Hopkins. Also one of those books, like books. I watched the documentary on Apple Records, the Beatles record company that they formed, and added this one because the samples that I heard were great from the documentary. So I thought of see if I could seek out the record. I never sort of understood why some of the Apple people or Apple Records never really hit it, but the documentary that is out there about the label Apple Music stated that Beatles they had all the steps in the chain. They had Abbey Road where you recorded, and they had the distribution, and they had the pressings, and they had the production, and everything except for the live part. So Beatles stopped playing live, and the consequence of that was that the artists that they had in their stable didn't get an opportunity to go live because they didn't have the circus. So the first record I think that they released, I think it was the first record, was James Taylor. So his first debut record is on Apple Music, but he went to shit, is it Warner Brothers or something like that? Doesn't matter, because he didn't get anywhere with his music, and therefore he went to another label, and they took him out on the road and started getting sort of a reputation and so forth. So that's why people like Mary Hopkins, or there was this other guy that I took as a perfect example. Let's see here. See if I can find it quickly. Guess they released a couple of records, didn't they? No, 102. Sorry, maybe another day. But he didn't go out on the road either, and he just Jackie Lomax. It's there, Jackie Lomax. So he blames Beatles, and that they didn't have a sort of a live touring machine ready, that he didn't hit it big time. Okay, going to the next page. As you can see, there are a lot of sort of 70s rock, prog, psych, and some jazz put in here and there. Walrus, a record I got in the collection, haven't played yet, haven't even cleaned it. Stud, Thin Lizzy, also Blue by John Dummer Band. Haven't played this. People aren't really sort of super keen on this. It's mostly known, I guess, from the cover artwork by Hypnosis, I think. No, Roger Dean. Sorry, Roger Dean. But it's a swirl record, and all swirl records are sought after. That's why it's a 220 euro record, I guess. But I haven't played that, so don't know how that sounds. But I did play, or sample at least. Let's see here. Fuck. Your number band. No. So this is us right now. We watch me go through Discogs. Fantastic. This was awesome. Cabal, or how you pronounce it, by the John Dummer Blues Band. Really good. Highly recommended. Let's go back. Yeah, Free, also a band that I've never sort of dabbled into, so also part of the collection. Let's see here. Is there any sort of questions? One there is on my want list also. That's awesome. I wonder which it was. I don't think it was the Sabbath record. Do you know the US label Nasco? It rings a bell. Let's see here. Let's do it like this. I'll check it out. Nasco. Looks like a lot of singles. Yeah, the Electric Toilet. I have a reissue, pretty early reissue of that. Other than that, I don't have anything on my. Yeah, Felt is also definitely on my want list. Definitely. Yeah, good tip. Thank you. Go Shanna Jonas, you miss all the dance bands I have high with Robert. Okay, I think that's music for Saba. Oh, that's awesome. Original press, I only have the Record Store Day exclusive that I did some time ago. That's awesome. Yeah, I agree. Felt this amaze balls. Going back to this, let's go. I mean, I think this is chronologically, so let's go a bit into it. Chubby Checker. This is a fantastic record. It's a little bit rarer than other Chubby Checker, but this is a psych record. It's insane. If you don't have it, get it. I don't have it. I want to get it, so don't get my copy. But they've done a bunch of reissues, as you can see here. So this one, Slow Twistin', is a reissue. It's the record, but it's a cheapo. So I actually have that in my want list. Mingus, or Mingus times 5. I have a early 70s press of that. So I guess that this is a earlier one. And this Don Cherry, still need this in my collection. Fuck. Great record. Solid Ground. Do you have that, Christopher? Solid Ground. Is it only Tobbe who has it? Mama Lion, great. Yeah, Amundul, also one that I don't have. Tanz der Lemminge. Yep, that's exactly how I pronounce it. And Message. Look at this. This is an ugly cover. Isn't this a ugly ass cover? And these are the guys who did the amazing From Brooks and Dreams with this cover, which in my book is this is the most badass cover that has ever been issued. I mean, it's so damn cool. And they followed that up with this. Who thought that would be a good idea? Yeah, it's almost like a car wreck. You can't really look away. Yeah, this is a funny one. Frank Zappa, Beat the Boots. This is Frank Zappa, if I remember it correctly, found a bunch of bootleg records that was out there, and there's not a shortage of some Zappa bootlegs, and decided to take those bootlegs and do an official box set with them. So I bet that all of you have seen these out in the crates, sold separately from the box. I think there were a glitch on Discogs at one point or another, because I think that people logged one record when they had or they had one record from the box and they did like this. So this is for Away the Wind Blows, Frank, in Paris, and I sell it for €50 when it should be a €200 or €300 box set. This sucks with Discogs, in my opinion. I hate that they can do this, and I actually I was so mad at one of the releases that I got that I actually complained to Discogs that they should remove these ads, and what they ended up doing was removing everyone. So the entire sort of stock of for sale items on a very sort of rare box set was just gone. And there are still, like, they picked it up afterwards. It took like 2 days or something like that, and then they were up again. Or the you could put it up again for sale, but the statistics is still gone on the box. Pretty stupid. Yeah, Bengt Nordström. This is a 7-inch. Do you have this, Stunty? This is Free Jazz Bonanza 2016. Omlott. It's a Omlott is. They have a store in Gothenburg that I visit every time, but I've never bought any records. I know that Anna Högberg Attack is this record is very popular. I think that they have made their fortune on that record alone. Let's see here. I almost bought Solid Ground unofficial. Was it? Did you know that it was unofficial, or did someone try to fool you? Chubby Checker from the US. The reissue sounds better than the UK OG. Okay, this is great tip. Jason Rojas. Awesome. Do we have anything more? No. Moving on. How many are we? 27 people watching me flipping through my want list. You guys are idiots. This Bill Evans. I got one of these for I think €5, something like that, volume 1, and I've actually sold it now. Great recording quality, but Bill Evans to me is a hit and miss, a little bit like that. There's so much Bill Evans records out there, it's insane. But these I don't know if it's the recording quality or if it's just the sessions, but volume 1, 2, and 3 are very expensive, like €80 and upwards. I think I got €90 for mine. So yeah, cool. Pekka Pohjola, also one early on Love Records. That would be awesome to have one day. I mean, if this is the parts of the world, I guess, where you find this stuff for a good price. I mean, I thought that Eero Koivistoinen would play on that one, but didn't look like that. I actually interviewed Eero Koivistoinen, the saxophonist, and I have a half an hour interview with him, but the interview didn't go that well. He wasn't that good in English. I'm not that good, but he was worse. So he didn't really talk that much. He only answered yes and no. So it definitely was my worst sort of interview experience up to this date. But it was cool to have the sort of opportunity to see him and talk about some of the records. But it was more of a yes and no kind of game. So that was a little bit unfortunate. Cool. He's an icon in northern sort of jazz. Peter Brown and Pilpko. I don't know how to pronounce that. Awesome. One day. Grateful Dead again. Does anyone have this? Just let me know if you have it for sale and you don't live in the States, so I can get it and put it off my want list. Leaf Found. This is awesome. I mean, this is not super hard to get. I mean, I think maybe Christopher has this. Do you have it, Christopher? A lot of people have it, but it doesn't include the best song that they made called Freelance Fiend, which is only of Growers of Mushrooms, I think. The first song. And this is unobtainable. Yes, Stunty. Unobtainable. No, it's not. But if you have €6,300 to cough up, then it's yours. Yeah. I think that Stefan Dimle that I interviewed talked about, I don't know if he did it in the video or we talked about it in another time, the time that Mick Åkerfeldt from Opeth went to, it wasn't Dambosch then, it was Utrecht, and met up with a seller and bought that record. Kind of a cool story. Exchanging records in, there's a famous, or there was I guess, a famous hotel in Utrecht where all the best sort of most rare and sought after grails were exchanging collectors. I don't know. I've just heard that that's the case. I think I've seen like photos from the lobby. There's just people everywhere with bags and I don't know. Do you know, Stunty, if that's the case? Are they still there? Are they still there and meet up at the hotel? Sounds pretty, yeah. Okay, moving on. Edgar Bruton Band, also one that I've I think I have several different pressings of this in my want list. This is one that you see it sometimes. I always get outbid one day. I mean, it's not a super hard record to get. Same goes with this Eulenspiegel krautrock record. And I guess that I'm trying to get this record because it's a $50, $60, $70 record. If you want to go for if you want to be one of the cool kids, you need this one, this cover. So you have a chicken with a dead chicken and an egg, but it was even too much for the Germans, I think. So the next one, they at least took away the dead chicken. Yeah, but it's still, I mean, €100, 150 maybe. I don't know, somewhere along that line. Would be awesome to have that with that cover. Very weird. This is a new sort of discovery for me. Bruce Cockburn. Yes, that's the name. Does anyone know about Bruce Cockburn? As you can see, I have his first 5 records in my want list. The only one I have is this Night Vision, which is in the pile that is going to be played and logged. The rest of them is I'm looking for them. They are very cheap, but most of them are in the States, so it's hard to get to find them here in Sweden or in Europe. I mean, if a record costs like €5, I don't buy it because it's €22 from sort of Germany or Italy or whatever to get it shipped here. So if that seller doesn't have more than that record, so I can bundle up and get a good, nice, thick package of records going my way, I'm not buying it. So in this case with Bruce Cockburn, it will take time, I guess, to find them, because in one way they are too inexpensive, if that's even a thing. Bruce Cockburn. Does anyone know about it? Coburn. Cock. Not cock. Jonas, it's pronounced Coburn. The CK is silent. Coburn. Well, that was a shame. Cockburn, that sounded much cooler. Should be easy to get. Yeah, just let me know, Christopher. If you sniff one up, throw it my way. Just let me know so I can get it. Yeah, moving on. This Chairman of the Board, awesome funk record. I don't have much Chairman on the Board. I just have one other. This one, fantastic. Still looking for that. It should be easy to find. I mean, yeah. And this one also, The Undisputed Truth, Cosmic Truth, Psychedelic Soul. Fantastic. Like, really good. And as you can see, this is like 16, 20 euro record. But, I mean, the stars hasn't been on the line, so I haven't got it yet. Yeah, let's jump ahead a little bit. Would be nice to go to like something a couple of years ago. 24. Okay. Demon Fuzz, Africa. This is one that everyone has in their want list. If not for the music, then for the cover artwork. This is, I mean, look at that. Such a great cover. How could that be on a shelf and people not buying that when it came out in 70? I mean, it's just, and then listening to the music, just insane. I would love to have an early press of that, but yeah. That would be awesome. That would be awesome. This is one. Stunty, do you have this? Avant-Garde from Deutsche Grammophon, 1968. It's a 6 LP box set. Penis envy. Ask John. Yeah, maybe John has it. John has a fantastic store up in north of Sweden called Bibapalula Land. He's on Instagram. Check him out. great guy with a fantastic store, and he sends records also. I think so anyway. He sends to me. I have 4 boxes of that series. I mean, this is, I think that when it comes to Deutsche Grammophon, I've had some. I know that we have talked about it in another thread, Stunty, but I think that Deutsche Grammophon, if you find those early, like big tulip sort of ones, they often sound fantastic, and they are often in great condition because people who bought it back in the day seems to really took care of their records, or maybe didn't play them that much. But I don't know really where to begin in Deutsche Grammophon. So maybe it's here, avant-garde. Maybe this is the place to start. I would love to dabble into classical music. I think that I'm at a point in my life where I'm ready to receive that. And I mean, I have my mother-in-law is a huge fan. She's a piano player, plays in has spent all her life working in church, playing the organ, and she knows so much about classical music, and has a great collection also of vinyl records, much of the 70s and 80s Deutsche Grammophon pressings, I think. Yeah. So, but yeah, I don't know. There's so much. I don't know where to begin. These 4 box sets are must-haves. A Fayike. White, yellow, red, and the rare one, purple one. Okay, cool. I'll continue. This is the cheap July record. I think I talked about this in my July video. It's like a 25-30 euro record. But I don't know about the sound quality. That's definitely one that I will pick up when I see it. I actually saw it in a store in Stockholm called An Ideal for a Living. That store, probably the best, if not at least top 3 stores in Stockholm. But I didn't get it. I got like 12 other records, but I didn't get that one. I was broke when I went out of that store. Yeah, this is a Danish prog record that's fantastic. Burning Red Ivanhoe. I had a reissue of their first record, which I sold. I mean, we could do a video about stuff we regretted selling. There's not much actually that I regret selling. Not many, because I always flip records for records. So if I sell anything, I buy something. So if I sell anything for 100 euro, I buy something for at least 100. Often one record. So a grail for a grail, or a rare one for a rare one, that sort of deal. So I can't really regret selling something because I got something else that wouldn't be in my collection if I didn't sell the other stuff, like the Johnny Cole, where I sold it for like 700 euro. Let's say that 700 euro, and I bought the Comus and 200 records, I think, for that money. So sure, great record that I sort of miss. I don't regret selling it, but I miss the record because it's a fantastic record. It sounded great and the music was fantastic. But I don't regret it because I got the Comus, and it's one of my favorite records of all time. So, Jonas, you can still be irrational and regret. Yeah, sure, maybe. One record had a hole through the vinyl from Tradera. Didn't read the info. Okay. I bought that Creative Art Ensemble for 10 euros 15 years ago. Yeah, shit. I actually An Ideal for Living is the best store of Stockholm for sure. Okay, yeah, I agree. It's a great store. Great store. I actually I got one of my biggest sort of finds was I found the La Stanza Sophie. I slaughtered that. I know. Sorry, Stunty. With Art Ensemble of Chicago, original French pâté press for €8. A guy had it. He only sold like rockabilly records and stuff like that. And he had a small crate with a little jazz in it. And it was there. It was fantastic. Fantastic day on a record fair. And I wasn't even the first one in there. There were a lot of hands that had flipped through those records. Insane. So yeah, the seduction of Ingmar Bergman with Sparks. Why do I have this in my want list? I've listened to it. It's pretty good. I'm a huge Ingmar Bergman fan, so that would be enough to have this in the want list or getting it actually. But that's not why I have it. I have it because I want it to remind me that I have to get it one day. And that is because I had a period in my life where I sold this record. This record, The Seduction of Ingmar Bergman with Sparks, the original CD from Sweden, 2009. It was like this. This was, I could flip this CD for maybe €80, something like that, back in the day. Often it was Japanese or Russian people that bought it. The thing is that the public radio in Sweden had a store, and they sold this record along with a lot of other records, CDs and boxes and stuff like that they had collaborated or been a part of, I guess, making, and they had a stock and they sold them, and they were really cheap, and people didn't know about it, so they didn't find the web shop to buy it. So I could actually sort of buy that and flip it almost the same afternoon. So I had, when I called them, because there were an old ass lady who worked at the web store or shop, who sort of did all the distribution, and so she sent me the records. And I know before they closed the shop, she actually sort of like said to me, like, we only have 2 left, so if you want them, you have to, like, you can buy those 2 and then we're shutting down. so I bought them. It was pretty neat. So I think that let's say I bought them for €15 and I flipped them for €80. I think I did like 10 or 15 of those sort of CDs. And every time I did, I took those 80 and I put it in a record that I really wanted. So that's why I have the vinyl edition that came 2022 in my want list, because I want to remind myself of the genius that I am. I love talking doing this live thing. There's no one here and I'm looking at my want list, so I don't see the chat, but there's no one here to say that I'm not smart. I see that we're over an hour now. I think I'll wrap this up. I didn't go through it all. Maybe some other time. And I didn't play that much music. I don't know what I did. But yeah, thank you so much for watching, everyone. It was fun. Maybe I'll do something else the next time, show some records and talk about them. But I like the format. I like the live thing. No rapping. I have to go upstairs to my wife. I'm sorry, Christopher. You can call me, if you miss me, just call me. You have my number on Messenger. Just, yeah. Okay, he's calling now. Thanks for opening doors for ideas. Yeah, Absolutely. Yeah, you're 19 of you is still here. I noticed that you could throw in a banner, so I'm throwing in a banner for Instagram. But I guess the 18 of you already follow me on Instagram. So if you don't, then yeah, follow me on Instagram. So yeah, talk to you soon, I guess, in another live session or a video to come. Have a great evening or day or wherever you are, everyone. And